Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we'll be taking a look at the new epic roaring Tyrannosaurus Rex. This Rex is one of the newest figures in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous line. For those of you that don't know what Camp Cretaceous is, it is a Netflix original animated series that's supposed to be premiering, I believe, sometime in August. I ended up finding this figure at Target. It's been popping up across the country for the last week or so. So I headed off to Target today, and this figure, along with the Colossal Indominus Rex, were actually on an end cap display. So if you go and you don't see it in the toy aisle with the rest of the Jurassic World stuff, just take a loop around the toy section and check those end caps. I'll also leave a link in the description to Pop Finder. I used to use BrickSeek, but BrickSeek absolutely sucks lately, and I've been using Pop Finder the last couple months, and I like it a lot better. And I'll also leave the DCPI code. Just punch it into Pop Finder, and it'll let you know if your local Targets around you has this figure in stock. So getting back to this figure right here, if you watched my Toy Fair reveals video, you will know I was not totally sold on this new T-Rex figure. I said I was suffering from T-Rex fatigue because Mattel has given us quite a few Rex figures in the short time they've had this license. So I really wasn't too excited that this figure was coming out, and then people started finding it last week and posted it online, and I got a better look at this figure from their in-hand images, and it kept looking better and better to me, but I still wasn't completely sold until I found one in person. So I had this in my hands today. I was looking over it for a few minutes at Target, and yeah, this is a really cool Rex, and I'm glad I got it. So yeah, I'll totally eat my words that when I said I probably wasn't going to pick this figure up. So now I'm going to take this T-Rex out of the package, and I just want to get a better look at all that awesome artwork back there. We're just going to go over the packaging really quick, and then we're going to dive into this review. All right, now that we got Rexy out of the packaging, let's take a quick look at it. You got the new Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo right here. This figure is part of the Primal Attack assortment. You have a picture of Rexy roaring, and then after that, you have the words roar traveling through this artwork right here. You got the Netflix logo, and now this artwork is the exact same artwork that is on the packaging of the new Toro Carnotaurus. The only difference is you just have the words raw going through the top right here, and then on the bottom you have a picture of Toro along with some of the kids from the new animated series. Right here you got the Epic Run T-Rex logo, a couple pictures showing how the action features work on this figure, and then turning it around on the side right here. Let me see. This package is very long. It's like hanging off the studio right now. You get a picture of Bumpy along with the other kids in the show. And then spinning around back, we have a picture of the Epic Roaring T-Rex in action. And the bottom corner right here, we have a picture of Toro, which was recently reviewed on the channel. And then over here, a couple more pictures of Rexy. And then this is the sticker book that came with Toro. I'm not going to take the sticker book out and go over it again. If you want to see it, just go check out my review of Toro. And here is the new Rex figure out of the packaging, and this is a gorgeous looking figure. The detail on this is so much nicer than any of the other Rexes that Mattel gave us. Later on, when I get into the comparisons, I'll take out the other Rexes and I'll show you the differences. And I totally regret saying that I was not interested in picking this figure up. This is probably one of the nicest detailed and textured figures Mattel has put out so far. This figure is roughly about the same size as the Bite and Fight T-Rex. So let me just do a couple quick measurements. This figure is just about 21 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, and just about 8.5 inches tall to the top of the head right here. So I believe Rexy in the movies is around 42 feet long. So I'll put this figure somewhere in the 124 scale range. So let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. This figure is beautifully sculpted, a lot of nice detail and texture all over this figure. I have to say, this is probably the best sculpted figure produced by Mattel so far. Look at all that beautiful scale detail on the head right here, especially along the bottom jaw. Look at all those different size scale. It looks absolutely fantastic. And look at those big teeth. The eye is painted in yellow with a black pupil. And for comparison, here is the Bite and Fight Rex. You can see the detail on here is not as refined as it is on this Epic Roaring T-Rex. Just absolutely a beautiful looking Rex head right here. The detail is just astonishing on here. This is a perfect candidate for a excellent Rexy repaint for anyone that wants to tackle it. And then going down to the neck, you can see all this beautiful sculpted detail. You can see some nice scarring from its battle with the Indominus Rex, even along the side right here. I love the proportions on this figure. The body is much fuller in the chest region compared to the Bite and Fight Rex where it's just kind of slender and it just goes down, fills out a little bit more in the belly, and then the leg right here is just beautifully sculpted. You got more scars right here. Just look at all those nice folds and wrinkles all down the leg right here, and look at the detail on the foot. For comparison, here is the foot of the Bite and Fight. You can just see the detail is just so much better on this new T-Rex figure right here. It's just an absolutely beautiful T-Rex figure. I almost feel bad about saying I was not interested in this figure, but man, just having this thing in hand is just an absolutely gorgeous looking figure. I will say I do like the paint scheme better on the Bite and Fight. I just like that darker brown, but the paint on this is pretty well done. I mean, just rubbing your hand on this figure, just the detail and texture in this figure, just it feels so different compared to other Mattel figures. Like, you know, when you feel the Bite and Fight right here, it's a very smooth and plasticky feeling figure, and this one just with all that nice texture, and the figure feels like almost like a premium quality. I just absolutely love this thing. It's just, it's the best T-Rex Mattel has put out so far. All the T-Rexes have been absolutely fantastic, but this one is just on another level. And this is probably my favorite part of the figure. When you open up the mouth right here, it has the tongue that sticks out like the extreme chomping T-Rex, but the tongue is actually made out of soft rubber, and it really just gives it that lifelike feel. And look at all that nice texturing on the tongue right here. There's actually a hinge in here. The tongue will move up and down so you can get it into different positions, but I really love the inclusion of this rubberized tongue. It's just so cool looking. It feels so cool to play with. Definitely a nice touch. Moving on to articulation, there's not a lot of articulation on this figure. Most of it is tied to the action feature, which we'll get to momentarily. So the only articulation on here are on the arms right here. They can move forwards and backwards. And unlike the Bite and Fight T-Rex, which have its arms on the hinge, allows you to swing the arms out, this figure doesn't have it, which I kind of wish Mattel did include it just to give you a little bit more range of motion on those arms. And the only other articulation are on the feet right here. You can rotate them at the ankles just to adjust for stability. This figure is actually very stable. You just plop it right down and it's not going to fall over. And anyways, let me just turn it over so you guys can get a look at the scan code if you want to scan this into the fax app. I heard the app got updated today, but I am hearing that some of the Camp Cretaceous stuff is not showing up yet. I don't know if this T-Rex shows up in the fax app yet. I haven't tried it. Moving on to the action feature, most of it is controlled by the tail right here, just like all the new Primal Attack figures. There's a button at the base of the tail, and by pressing that button, it will cause this T-Rex mouth to open and roar. And you'll also notice the head shakes violently when you hold that button down. That's to replicate the T-Rex's throat rumbling as it's roaring. When you watch the movies, you can see that. So this is Mattel's attempt at replicating that. It's a cool little gimmick, but just that vibrating sound just kind of distracts from the roar. But I do like it. It's definitely cool. I do give Mattel credit for giving us a new gimmick on this figure, but I most likely would probably take the batteries out because it kind of just that rattle sound kind of just drives me nuts a little bit. But if you just tap the button, it's just going to roar and it won't cause the throat to rumble. And as you can hear, that roar is very loud. It's so loud that the speakers get distorted a little bit. And by holding one of its feet and rotating the tail, you can cause the head to move side to side. And by just pulling down the tail, you can cause the head to rise up a little bit. And pushing down the tail, you can get the neck to look down a little bit. And then holding the tail, you can get the T-Rex to look up and down. You can get some nice movement in here, which is really cool. The whole gimmick of the Primal Attack line is that you have total control of the movements on these figures. Alright, let's move on with some comparisons. Here it is with some of the other Rexes produced by Mattel. This one is the Thrash and Throw, and this one is the Extreme Chompin' T-Rex. I much prefer the paint scheme on the Extreme Chompin' compared to this new T-Rex. If this new T-Rex had this paint scheme, this figure would be absolutely perfect, but the sculpted in detail on this new Rex puts these other figures to shame. And here it is with the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus. This T-Rex is just a little bit longer than the Spinosaurus figure, but other than that, these two figures do scale pretty well with each other. And before I forget, here it is with one of the human figures. Here it is with John Hammond. And here it is with the Indominus Rex. And I know it's kind of hard to tell from this camera angle. This Indominus Rex figure almost dwarfs this new T-Rex right here, which is kind of funny because they are both the same price point, $39.99. And the Indominus Rex is bigger than Rexy in the movie, so I think these two figures scale pretty well with each other. And just a couple more comparisons. Here it is with one of Mattel's Triceratops, and I always gotta say it every time I compare a Triceratops figure to one of the Rexes. The Triceratops is just hilariously too small to scale with any of the Mattel Rexes. We really need a much larger Triceratops. Hopefully someday in the future Mattel will give us that. I know they have beaten this mold to death, and we have a couple more Triceratops coming out in Primal Attack, so hopefully someday we'll get a larger Triceratops. And here it is with one of the Raptors. Here it is with the Savage Strike Charlie. And lastly, here it is with another Camp Cretaceous figure. Here it is with the new Toro Carnotaurus. And another thing, the Carnotaurus is just way too big to scale with T-Rex. This figure should be a lot smaller, but it is Jurassic World, and all the dinosaurs are genetically modified, so that's the easy way around to, you know, kind of get around the size differences between these animals. So final thoughts on this figure. As of right now, this is the best T-Rex Mattel has put out so far. It seems like every time they release a Rex, it's better than the last one. So who knows, maybe another year or so down the line, there'll be another Rex even better than this one. But as of right now, this is the best Rex available from Mattel right now, in my opinion. The sculpting and detail is the best among any figure so far produced by Mattel. And if this is a hint of things to come, the line is just going to get better and better the longer Mattel has this license. So I know I said in some earlier videos that I was suffering from T-Rex fatigue, but after having this figure in my hands, I highly recommend it. Even if you have all the other Mattel Rexes, you definitely need to add this one to your collection. The sculpting and detail are absolutely fantastic on this figure. I love this T-Rex, and I'm so happy I finally came to my senses and decided to get one. And like I said earlier, you can find this figure at your local Target. They're popping up across the country every day. I have to see more and more people in different states finding them. And like I said, there is a link to Pop Finder in the description along with the DCPI code, so you can try to track down this Rex for yourself. And also, Entertainment Earth is taking pre-orders on this, and I think it's just a matter of days before this figure actually pops up on Amazon. The other new Camp Cretaceous stuff is also popping up all over the place at Target. The new attack packs, Seats, so I'm going to be hitting Target every day until I can get my hands on those figures. And as soon as I do, you can expect full reviews on those figures. So this will pretty much do it for the review. As always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, hit that subscribe button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.